Hey, it's Andy, and I'm excited because tonight Mike Bloomberg is going to make the debate stage. And just a quick reminder to people who think he can't pull this off, coming from behind. Remember, he started the New York City mayor's race 40 percentage points behind the front runners and really literally unknown. And he came back to win after spending $73 million, including sending VCR tapes to people, to voters out in New York City. So he's already outspent the entire amount in the Democratic race than Elizabeth Warren has raised, just to give you a glimpse of how much money he's spent. Now, I'm in the process of creating a bunch of research on Mike Bloomberg and his policies, and we'll release them all really soon on andrewbusch.com, and you can sign up and get them free there. But back to the numbers, Bloomberg is making his first appearance, as I said, on the debate stage, which will be very exciting. And he'll, of course, be closely watched and particularly attacked by the other candidates, his competitors. Now, Bloomberg is essentially Mayor Pete on steroids, right? And we're already hearing a whole bunch of ads in Illinois on Barack Obama supporting Mike Bloomberg back when he was mayor. Now, he'll be criticized for sure during the debate for the stop and frisk police policy that he had and his comments towards how the police treated minorities. But the big story that's going on here is that he really hurts all of the non-Bernie characters and candidates that are in the Democratic race for president. So if you're keeping score, it's Mayor Pete, it's Klobuchar, it's Biden. So those are all the guys and gals that are going to be injured by him joining the race. Now, Sanders' support is he's not really going to take a hit here because he's so much further to the left than Bloomberg is as a moderate. And his support is kind of rock solid between 20 to 25%. It's eerily similar to what happened during the 2016 campaign when President Trump had similar numbers and there was a lot more Republican candidates and they kept splitting the votes. But the big difference is this time is that the Democrats have proportional delegation of their delegates, to put it mildly. And what that means is that if you get above 15%, you split proportionately of whatever the delegates are for that state, depending on what your voter percentages were. The Republicans back in 2016, it was winner take all. So eventually Trump started winning a whole bunch of states and it was just inevitable that he was going to win the candidacy. But that's not the case this time. So that's why I believe that even though there's going to be trouble for these moderate candidates, I don't see a reason for them to drop out anytime soon unless they're just not reaching that 15% threshold. And certainly for candidates like Mayor Bloomberg and Tom Steyer, there's no reason to drop out because they have so much money they can just keep spending. The other candidates will run into problems because if they're not reaching the 15% and getting delegates, then they're going to run into some problems for fundraising. So we got to keep that in mind. Now, Bloomberg's risen up rapidly in the polls. Nationwide, I think he's someplace between maybe second and third at this point. And he's rising up certainly in all of the polls, including those in Nevada. So we're going to keep a close eye on Mayor Bloomberg as he goes through this and as he rises up maybe even further. He's going to be really, this first appearance is going to introduce him to the national stage, and he's certainly going to be very challenged by the other candidates who are ready and probably have their debate knives out and ready to go. But if we've learned anything from 2016, anything can happen in these races. And that's why it's so much fun and exciting to see Bloomberg come in and see what he does to this Democratic and very crowded candidate list for the 2020 election. All right, I'm Andy Busch, moving my clients from chaos to confidence. And you can get all my research at andrewbusch.com.